I think people do have this perception that sometimes diabetes is just taking a shot, watching what you eat, and then everything's fine. You know, you're healthy, but it's so much more than that.
And Amy Chrisom has made it her life's mission to educate others on the implications diabetes has had on her own life. Diagnosed with type 1 juvenile diabetes at the age of 4, Amy lived a semi-normal life despite frequent trips to the doctor and the fact that she couldn't eat the same way other kids could.
If it was Halloween, you know, I had a box of raisins in school, not candy like everybody else, but the teacher was real good about it, as different as I felt. The only thing that was difficult in childhood was I didn't necessarily want the candy like everybody else, but I didn't want raisins either. I would rather have had nothing and just skipped the whole, you know, it was almost more heartbreaking to be so different that you had to eat something different.
After high school graduation, Amy began her college career as an English major at Bridgewater State College.
You suddenly become an adult, you know, at 18 years old. You have to make all these decisions about what you want to do with your life. I understood since I was 4 that the complications long-term of juvenile diabetes is heart attack, stroke, amputation of the extremities, blindness. But I thought at 19, you know, 18, 19, oh, those will happen later. I didn't realize I wouldn't be any happy with them later in life either, but I thought I've got plenty of time, so I'll deal with them later, but right now I just want to live for a little while like everybody else. And I got to college, stopped seeing the doctor as frequently, despite my family's attempts to get me to go. Wouldn't go see the eye doctor, wouldn't see a foot doctor, wouldn't go to the regular doctor. Didn't always take my insulin the correct way. I'd just take as much as I needed to get through. Didn't always check my sugar for days on end sometimes just once a day, rather than the minimum of 4 or 5 times. And I enjoyed not following a strict daily routine, and really let my health go for at least a minimum of 5 years.
During her last semester of college in 2001, Amy went to put on her eye makeup and realized she couldn't see out of her right eye.
That morning, I remember my boyfriend picked me up for school, and I was laughing. And he said, you know, Amy, this isn't funny. You're diabetic. You could be blind. And I said, oh, no, you know, they'll just give me some laser surgery. I'll be fine. I thought it was an easy fix. And then I thought, well, now I'll get myself back in line. This is my body telling me something.
Amy then went to the Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary to undergo her first surgery.
And was told that I would be blind. They weren't sure if at all. The right eye was pretty much gone instantly, but the left eye, although I could see out of it, had perfect 20/20 vision at the time, was just as bad. The disease had gotten behind the eye to the retina.
The doctors had hoped to save Amy's left eye for at least 5 years, but by January 2002, she had lost her vision.
I always thought I'd have more symptoms, although I knew from the beginning, I knew from when I was 4 that blindness was possible. I thought that there'd be warning signs that I should have experienced that would have told me. I mean, I was an English major at the time. I was reading 500 pages a week, if not more, and typing on the computer, and everything was fine. I mean, I didn't wear glasses. I thought I could see just fine. When it went, it just went like that.
Amy lost her eyesight at the age of 24, and she felt she lost her whole life with it. But it only took a couple words from one friend to make her realize there was a lot more life to live.
He said, you've got a long life ahead of you. You only have 2 choices. You don't have to like what happened, but you either have to live or you have to die. And that was the truth. I really didn't have a choice. So when I do get negative, and it happens, you know, you have your days where you get down and you don't want to get out of bed. I think of my family. I think of my niece and nephew. I think of my friends. And I can't really say I get motivated for myself, but I get motivated for them, for the friend that I can be, for the sister, aunt, daughter, girlfriend that I can be.
And Amy's quite an individual. Each year she fundraises and walks for diabetes research. She writes letters and speaks to our congressman.
The government likes to put money behind a disease that they can notice, you know, a cancer, something that's physically visual. And with mine, if you passed me on the street, you wouldn't necessarily think, not only am I blind, but since the blindness happened, my entire digestive system has shut down to something called gastroparesis. So I have an inability to digest food normally. I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet, so I have a lot of coldness and a lack of sensitivity to the feet. I have just the earliest, it's like the pre-stage to kidney failure. There's some clogging going on in my kidneys.
Despite all her battles, Amy continues her mission.
There are 24 million people currently living with diabetes type 1 or type 2, and that's doubled since 2005. It's a short period of time to have it double. And there are 6 million people currently living with diabetes or they're predisposed to diabetes and they have no idea yet. So it's very important to get the word out that diabetes is a disease that affects every minute of every day of a diabetic's life.